to Wholesale Hotline, where we cover everything to do with wholesale real estate. I'm Jamil Damji.
I'm Brent Daniels.
And I am Morby.
And together we cover the most important parts of wholesale real estate.
Lead generation.
Conversion of sellers into contracts.
And dispositions. Guys, remember, when you're watching this show, do us a favor and squad up in the comments.
Make sure that you are liking and subscribing to the YouTube channels and in the Facebook group Wholesale Hotline.
Most important, we want to know we're doing a great job for you and helping you build your business. So go give us a review on iTunes and or Spotify.
So squad up and enjoy the show!
Welcome to Wholesale Hotline number 169. Jamil Damji and Morby are running around in Atlanta for Pace's new book release and book signing. So they're doing some work out there in the beautiful city of Atlanta. So we've got a takeover today. We've got the Steve Trang takeover and maybe Jerry Norton. I don't know. I called him. He might not have service in Puerto Rico. We'll see.
Could be raining. It could be a hurricane. Just
Could
random
be.
stuff. And yeah, I'll try to give as much energy as Pace.
Good.
And Jamil. We'll see.
Good.
See.
I think you'll do it. I think you're used to this.
I'm going to make a bunch of creative answers.
That's
and
it.
Add some positivity.
Well, that's what I want to get into a little bit with you, just to warm up this show.
Yeah.
Is I really think that it's first we start and we go out there and we find what we think is an opportunity, right? A property owner that actually wants to sell their property.
Right.
But then the skills get kicked up a notch, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You got to develop the skills of being able to communicate effectively, pre-qualify those property owners, and see if they're truly motivated to sell their property, right?
Oh, absolutely. I think it's you've got to be able to connect with somebody. You got to be able to understand what's going on in their world. And it's such a competitive industry. You know, I thought it was pretty competitive in 2020, right? And then I thought it was pretty competitive in 2021. And every single year I keep hearing this is the most competitive industry. Now, I think it's slowed down a little bit, right? Just a little bit in the second half of last year, but it's becoming increasingly more important to actually be able to connect and understand the other person. One of the things that, you know, for us, it means a lot is when our guys leave the appointment, the homeowner says, like, I feel like, you know, you care about me and my situation.
Yep.
Versus, you know, I was just like a giant bag of money.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you mean you actually have to ask questions and find out what's going on with these property owners?
Yeah.
You can't just send blind offers to them and then just hope everything gets done over text messages or emails.
You can't just send blind offers, and you can't make it just about the numbers. Like, I mean, you could make it just about the numbers and it would work. I'm not saying that as a business model that wouldn't work. It's just you're going to have to submit way more offers, right? And go through a lot more headache, and it's going to be even more transactional. And in an already transactional industry, it's going to be even more transactional. It's pretty tough. You're asking someone to, you know, basically hand you somewhere between $50,000 and $150,000 in potential equity. You better be able to connect with another human being if you're trying to do that.
Yep. Well, listen, this business comes down to having conversations and making offers.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Absolutely.
I mean, from there, you can develop the skills and the experience to know what exit strategy to go with. But basically, you're either going to buy it and hold it, right? Yeah. Put it in your portfolio. You're going to buy it and flip it, or you're going to put it under contract and assign that contract.
Absolutely. I mean, the most valuable skill, no matter what, the most valuable skill is finding homeowners, finding motivated homeowners. The second one, right behind that, is being able to convince them to go with you versus any other option, right? So however you move the property is however you move the property. Yeah. But if you can't find motivated homeowners and convince them to work with you, then good luck.
So how do you do that? I mean, we know we can go out right now into any neighborhood, any area, for the most part, and find some properties that need renovation, right?
Sure,
like properties are like this living, breathing thing, right? They need to be fed. They need to be cleaned. They need to be taken care of. They need to be groomed. They need all these things. If you don't have those things, they start falling apart. just like anything else, right?
Mhm.
So in every area, there's always going to be opportunities to go and see a property that needs some substantial renovation,
Sure.
right?
Absolutely.
And so the opportunities are out there. Now we have to have a conversation with the property owner, right?
Yeah. So are you asking me if you're like, how do we begin this conversation?
No. So we have this conversation. We're going to get to the conversion side in just a second.
Yeah.
But we have choices, right? Either they call us for marketing or we call them
Right. Inbound
based on
versus
being
outbound.
right,
Mhm.
being super proactive. So we can go out there with no experience, with no real funds,
Mhm.
and be able to find a property and have a conversation with the property owner.
Absolutely.
That's where it all starts.
Yeah. The funny thing is,
But then how do we get good at the other part?
well, there's no secrets, right? Like that's the crazy
That's why I'm
part.
so glad you're on Wholesale Hotline.
Yeah, there's no secrets. Like you're watching Wholesale Hotline, you're following Brent on Instagram, you're following my content. There's no secrets. Like it all comes down to the same thing. Pull a list. Which list? Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So pull a list
Mhm.
and then attack the list. You know, we actually just pulled a report this past week on our deals.
Yeah.
Right. You know what was the number one deal source last year?
What?
Cold calling.
Cold calling.
You know what our number one deal sources this year?
Cold calling.
Cold calling.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to be cold calling. I really didn't, right? I wanted it to be
TTP.
PPC. I wanted it
Yeah.
to be, direct something else. It's cold calling. It's insane.
Conversations and offers. We don't have to
Conversations.
overcomplicate this, Steve.
You
Right?
don't, no, you don't have to be an engineer. You don't have to be a scientist, right?
Right.
You just have to want it more than your competition.
That's right.
Yeah.
When did you get started, Steve?
I started in 2007 on the wrong side of it.
Mhm.
I started as a realtor.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
I didn't actually start buying houses till about 2010, 2011. Even then, that was an accident, right? It wasn't even on purpose. I was being bullied into buying houses.
Yeah.
But, we talk about sales as sales. Learning to show houses, learning how to list houses. These are high stakes conversations you're having with people that are buying or selling homes. Those skills have translated immensely into house buying business. And I'm sure you had the same exact experience.
Sure.
I mean, you door knocked. I don't know if anyone actually knocked on more doors than you in your career.
Yeah. 15,000.
Yeah. Do you know anyone that's knocked more than 15,000 doors?
I'm sure there's some people that have done solar sales that have knocked on more, but yeah.
Yeah. Right.
In real estate, I don't know.
Yeah. So
Probably not.
it just comes down to conversations, reps, and getting comfortable talking to people. And, in my very first brokerage, this is, I want to say 2008, there was this word that was going around, short sale. Do you hear that word?
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So I said, I'm going to go pull pre-foreclosures,
Mhm.
which isn't hard. You're a licensed realtor, right? Just go to the Monsoon, go to tax records. So you just pull the pre-foreclosures and you go knock on those doors. And I brought my broker with me.
Yeah.
Right? You know what he said? This sucks.
Uh-huh.
I was like, yeah, but you're
That's why
supposed-
they're broker than you.
you're supposed
That's
to
the
help
that's
me.
the line, right?
I took initiative. I pulled the list. You're supposed to help me with this. And that didn't quite work so well.
No. How'd you do? Let's go to how'd you find your first 10 deals? Now that was a different life.
It was a different life.
15 years ago in Phoenix real estate was a different life. But how'd you find
back then it was conversations, but it was conversations with friends and family.
right?
Right. But
No, your first
but buying houses.
investment property.
Buying houses.
Yeah.
It was
Flips, wholesale.
PPC. It was all PPC.
Really?
Right? Yeah, because I had learned this is again, I was still wearing the realtor hat. I had figured out that I need to get in front of as many people that want to sell their house as possible.
Mhm.
And so we tried these campaigns, like what's my house worth? What will my house sell for? Free appraisal, like I bought like PhoenixFreeAppraisal.com or some nonsense, right?
Yeah.
And I bought these things and I only had conversations with unmotivated homeowners. They want to find out what their house is worth, not what they sell for. So I said, okay, well then let's scrap that and let's go to the different direction. So I went to, buy my house or sell my house fast, sell my house now. And this is an entirely different industry. There's a completely different avatar. So, like what's my house worth was like maybe like 12 cents, right? Sell my house now was like $2.50, which I would kill for today, right?
Yes.
So at that time,
Now it's 200.
Now it's a lot more. Yeah. And so I was I was bidding on these keywords and I was finding, guess what I was finding? People that want to sell their house fast.
Yes.
And so this is where I was getting bullied into people into buying their houses because I would just go, hey, Brent, like we list your house. Here's what you're going to walk away with. Like, but we want the cash offer. It's like, yeah, I know you want the cash offer. But look, if we do this, you're going to walk away with more money. And they wouldn't take it.
Nope.
And the more I pulled away, the more they're like, I want you to buy my house right now. So,
Well, let's look at this. Guys, by the way, we're going to open this up to a tremendous amount of questions. We're going to get through this. It's going to be a really fun show. So make sure if you have any questions to put it in the chat. Make sure that you're squatting up in the chat. Let everybody know where you're doing business. Treat this like a networking event so that you can squat up with people that are actually doing this business, because the fact is you're going to talk to family, you're going to talk to friends, you're going to be at barbecues, you're going to be running around, and you're going to be having conversations with people, and you're going to be excited about investing in real estate or wholesaling real estate, and they're going to look at you with glossed over eyes. All right. They're going to have no idea what you are talking about. So it is critical that you surround yourself with people that are doing this business. Not only that, but people that are a few steps ahead of you. It's going to pull you ahead faster. Absolutely. So this is a perfect question for Steve Trang. I've mentioned, I have a motivated seller that needs to sell by the end of this month. She is moving to a senior facility. She told me she has 5 other cash buyers interested. How should I convince her to go with me?
So the first thing is I want to ask, right? For a lot of times when I see these questions, the belief is that they want with the highest offer.
Right.
That's the belief. And the first thing I want to do is just kind of like crush that belief.
Okay.
Right. She said she has to be there by the end of the month or something along those lines. Yep. Right. Could it be, Brent, that guaranteed I'm going to have my money at the end of the month is more important than the amount of money?
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the very first thing we need to be very clear on, because we have these idea where we project ourselves on someone else in someone else's situation. So a couple questions I might ask.
Yep.
Hey, Brent, between these 5 offers, I'm sure you're getting a lot of offers. Let's pretend all 5 offers came in at the same amount. How would you know which offer to go with?
Love it.
Right. And now we're going to figure out what's important to them.
We asked the question, what's important about the company that buys your property?
Right. And so, but now we're going to say it because they're going to say price.
Yeah.
They always say price.
Sure.
Even though we know that's not true.
Yeah.
They'll say price. Right. So they're going to say, hey, assuming all prices are the same. Another thing I'll do is I'm going to walk in. Right. So let's just role play real quick. Hey, Brent. So you got 5 other cash offers already?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got a lot of offers.
Got a lot of offers.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. It sounds to me like you're trying to get the most amount of money for your home.
Yeah. I want to take the best offer. So, yeah. So, I want to get the most out of it that I can. I don't want any of those low ball offers, of course.
You definitely should not take any low ball offers.
Right.
In all the years I've been buying houses, Brent, I've been doing this for a long, long time. I've never been the highest offer. So knowing that, should we end this conversation here?
So what, you can't offer as much as the other ones?
I already know there's no way I could offer as much as the other guys.
Well, let's see what you have to offer, and we can take it from there.
Sure. Well, let me ask you this. I had a chance to survey, because I've been doing this again for a while now. I had a chance to survey all the other homeowners and ask them, like, why did you decide to go with me, even though I wasn't the highest offer, Brent? What do you suppose they said?
Probably because you got it closed.
Exactly what they said. It doesn't even matter what they say.
Exactly.
Matter what they say. That's exactly what they said. Right. But this is how you're able to win here, because you're going to know what's important. Who knows what's important to the homeowner?
All right.
Not me.
Well, you have to.
Not the other 5 investors.
No.
You do.
Yeah.
Right. So for Chris, I hope that helps. Right. So 2 different things. A, telling them that we're not going to be the highest, but we still buy houses. Why do you suppose that is? The other thing is, assuming all offers came in the same exact amount, how would you know which offer to go with?
Well, I love asking the question, and Ryan, my acquisition manager, is 20 times better than I ever was, ever. He's so incredible, and he's just, tell me more. Tell me more about that. Tell me more about that.
Well, even like
you know what I mean?
It's just like, I don't want any lowball offers. You know, if I had a little more time, well, Brent, that's interesting. When you say lowball offer, lowball means a lot of different things to other people. Like, what does lowball mean to you?
Right.
And we're just gonna get you talking.
Yeah.
Right. The 70-30 rule. All I'm gonna do is get the other person to talk as much as possible to figure out.
I feel like you can do that with agents as well. Even easier, right?
Way easier.
Yeah, when you see a property on the market and it's been sitting there for a bit and it's got some wear and tear on it, and it's overpriced. You know that they've had 15 to 20 offers.
Well, I mean,
you can find out where those are.
So there's 2 different things with realtors, right?
Right.
First, is there an industry that is any more diva-ish than the realtor? Like you still have the glamour photos from the 80s.
Yeah.
Right. Second, who's more motivated right now? Realtors?
Realtors.
Or homeowners?
Realtors. For sure.
Yeah. So I think definitely this will work with realtors. Talk to them.
Well, I was looking at it. I mean, even they in 2022, it was like 5.4 million. Somebody can Google this, sales in the country. This year they're projecting 4.6.
Yeah.
So it's like 1 million less sales.
That's directly
The
impacts,
real estate agents are going to be affected.
Yeah, I mean, you look at a 20% compression on transaction volume on top of having to work harder. Like the one thing we don't really talk a lot about because I worn the realtor hat, you worn the realtor hat. Having transaction go from a week to 3 months, it's a lot of freaking work. You got a lot of staff working. That is the reason why I refuse to ever go to luxury. Right? Because if I go to luxury, man, I got to talk to you every single week. Hey, Brent, I did talk to the newspaper. Here's what they say. Hey, I talked to your neighbor. There is so much freaking hand holding in the realtor transaction. So not only is it slower, but this you have to hold on to it so much longer. It's a lot more freaking work, a lot less profitable as time goes on.
This is speaking to everybody out there that is a real estate agent. And you just stumbled into this wholesale hotline, or you just started Googling like real estate investing, and then like wholesale popped up, or maybe it's been, kind of on the outskirts of the conversations you're having in your brokerage. Jump in with both feet.
Absolutely.
I'm just telling you.
Absolutely.
The difference is bananas. The average agent, when I was an agent, I was making 2.7% on average on both sides, right? If you squished them all together, and that's what I would get. In wholesale, it's 10 to at 1.16%.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not even close. So
you should be targeting, not say you walk away with necessarily, but you should be targeting less 10%. Our average wholesale fee last year was $29,000.
Right.
Right.
Oh yeah.
That's a lot more than our commissions I was getting.
Oh, bro.
That's $1
we
million
were over 52,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's more than the commission on $1 million home.
All right, AP. I have $1 million home and having trouble finding cash buyers. Any tips on wholesaling luxury homes? I'm already contacting agents in the area selling 800,000 plus homes.
Well, I think they've done a great job, right? Starting off with agents that already are representing or selling houses in the area. I think that's step one. I think that's awesome. I think you could skip trace the entire area, or I talk to other homeowners in the area, say, hey, and this is where it's kind of funny, right? Like a lot of the things we're doing today as wholesalers, it's very much like we used to do as realtors.
I know,
right? We circle prospect,
awesome.
We skip trace the neighborhood, and we call them, text them, whatever you want to do to get a hold of them. But I think step one, you already done that. Step two is to find all the neighbors and talk to them. And then depending on where you are, right, you might want to market in the Facebook marketplace as well. To other luxury realtors across the country, because if someone that's looking to buy and sell may not be in your area, we're talking about $1 million homes. They might be moving from another part of the country to here.
You need to find every property that's been flipped in that zip code that's in that price range and call their agents. All of them. And it sounds AP like you're doing it. I just have I have a hunch that maybe your numbers are a little bit tight. You know what I mean? I'm thinking maybe you got to get a price reduction to make it, have conversations with all these agents, but get a price out of them. What price would your buyer or you purchase this property at?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because then
offers.
You at least know.
Oh yeah, we're very passionate right now about soliciting offers from all potential buyers, right? Hey, look, Brent, I understand you feel like this number's a little high. You tell me what number makes sense for you. Right. And we're going to collect all the offers, and then we're going to make a decision. We're going to have to make some business decisions. The other thing too is I would talk to all the loan officers as well. Yeah. Right. And no one knows other people's money better than loan officers.
I would talk to the hard money guys too.
Yeah. Hard money guys as well. Yeah. But I would talk to lenders. Don't limit yourself to just the realtors, right? Because the realtors only represent maybe onesie, twosie buyers, but the lenders, they know all the buyers as well as maybe some of the people that aren't so excited about having to put out how much down for this crazy interest rate.
Love it. Sean, what to do when agent says nobody can access the property unless she is present? It's a vacant deal, off-market pocket listing. Oh, nice.
I mean, I think this is one of those situations. I mean, one of the coolest things as you have consistent pipeline and revenue and business, is you get to tell people to screw off. Yeah. Right. It's like
this isn't important. We need to hammer this home.
Yeah. This is one of my favorite things, right? I was like, you know what? I don't think this is a good fit for you. This is not a good fit for me. Maybe we should part ways. I remember the very first time I fired someone, and I didn't really get to fire them, unfortunately. Like she had chewed me out for like 10 minutes on the phone. Yeah. Right. And I was like, okay, as soon as she's done, I'm going to let her go. And she ended with, I don't think we should work together. I was like, I agree. Click.
Done.
Right.
No, but Sean, first of all, pre-qualify like you would a normal property owner. right? How much do they want? When do they want their money? What's the condition in this property? If you can't see, if there's no there's no inside pictures or video or whatever else, and they're just kind of throwing out, hey, I've got this property and at this price. Is it interesting? Well, first of all, run your numbers, make sure that it's within the ballpark, and then go meet them. What a great agent to go talk to them. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Don't be scared to go to talk to an agent. Not saying that you are, Sean, but I want you in front of people all the time, especially agents that have pocket listings that are in rough shape, and they're bringing it to you somehow. You were able to get into that conversation. That's fantastic. So make sure that you're pre-qualifying and really understanding what's going on there. And then you shouldn't have any problem just locking it up and selling it to your buyers. The agents expect a tremendous amount of people coming through a property. Oh, yeah. You've got appraisers, you've got contractors, you've got inspectors, you've got not really home warranty companies, but I mean that's most of it. Buyers agents, the agent, the buyer's family. You know, like if they are going to be accustomed to opening up that property and showing it.
So he does say he has it under contract, which is great, Sean. So I think there's a couple of different things here, right? One, for future reference, you got to set very clear expectations. Hey, moving forward is how we operate. Yes. Right. I think that's one of the things that over and over again, setting unclear expectations gets us into trouble. Second is when she tells you like, hey, you can't show it without me present. I would find out, is this a stipulation that you put into place, or is this something the homeowner said to you specifically? I would try to understand where she's coming from. Maybe she's been in a situation where she's got burned because someone destroyed the property, or she might have a really particular seller. If she's got a super particular seller, might be difficult to overcome that. You got to work that a little bit. But if it's just her, now it's just a sales job. Yep. Right.
Well, clear expectations. It's going to be a circus. I'm going to bring everybody through. I need it open for 2 hours on Thursday between 2 and 4 o'clock. We need to get in there, but then we'll be out of your hair and we'll know if we're 100% moving forward. And agents, this is part of the work that they do on a daily basis, is opening it up to inspection period, inspections, appraisals, all those things. So here you go. Corey's got a question. I have a brand new build that is on the market, but not sold yet. Steve, would you have any pointers on how to get it sold? When do you just drop it and let it go? My hard money is due in August. You ever been in this? You ever been in this situation, Steve?
I was in this situation multiple times last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
Q1 to finally get rid of those properties.
Okay.
So if it's a brand new build that you have hard money on, I think you just need to have some difficult conversations with the hard money lender. Yep. And I had those conversations. Yep. I actually had a conversation. I shared on one of the Wholesale Hotline. I called my hard money private lender. I said, hey, Brent, here's the situation. I know I owe you money on this deal. I'm going to be short when this is sold. Mm-hmm. Would you be okay just carrying the balance after we close at the same interest rate and allow me to pay you when I can't pay you?
Right.
And it took a few months, but we were able to pay her off. So I think that's the very first thing, right? Is you have to have very high stakes, high level conversations with people you do business with. But I'm guessing here, because this is how money is due, is he owns it. So I think the first thing is you got to have conversations with the lender. And the second thing is, this is something that I'm doing now that I wasn't doing last year. And it's just collecting as many offers as possible and then making a decision with it. Since it's a hard money lender, this might be a short sale situation. Mm-hmm. Hey, Brent, look, I know I owe you $480 on this one. Mm-hmm. Right now, the best offers I'm getting is $450. How would you like to handle this? Would you like me to get you $450, or would you like me to peace out?
Yeah, right. Or do you want me to keep it on? Do you think the market's coming back up? Do you think that it's going to all of a sudden the prices are going to go bananas?
Are you going to?
And they'll be like, money? No, they know.
Are you going to waive the hard money while we try to figure this out together?
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a collaborative approach.
You got to communicate. The most I'm telling you, and this is something that often overlooked, is just your speed and volume of communication with everybody in this business. Text people back fast. Get on the phone with them. If a deal's going sideways, communicate. Let everybody understand what's going on and that you're not trying to hide anything. It's only when people are trying to hide things that the turbulence really starts shaking up the deal and it starts screwing everything up in the relationship.
What we tell ourselves when it's radio silence?
Yeah.
It's the worst.
Oh my gosh. The unknown.
Yeah.
Oh, they're skipping town. They're running out.
We hear these wholesalers complain like the seller went dark on me, or seller won't return my calls, right? Mm-hmm. And the question I always wonder, and I asked some of them, right? The question I always wonder, well, will you call on them every single week to let them know, hey, everything's still good?
Right.
Or did
Right.
you lock them up and then show up on closing day?
Oh gosh.
Right? They've invented
In
these
this
horrific
market,
stories
I'm telling
about
you.
what you're doing about their house.
Oh yeah, you have to communicate, especially with the property owners. Oh my gosh. And they don't answer. Like, get used to them not answering like 8 out of 10 times and not responding to your text 8 out of 10 times. Even when you have an active deal going on, you've got a transaction that you're trying to buy or wholesale out, you still have to over communicate with all those
We got
property
to
owners.
over communicate. And something actually in part really hard on our title company is like, look, these people are hiding from everybody. Right? It's not just the house that's in distress. They might be behind on their car payments. Their credit cards might be maxed out. There's a lot of people harassing these people.
Yeah.
You have got to work so hard to stay in touch with them. So, yeah, you just got to keep.
Jared, come on, buddy. Here we go. Yes.
I'm going to hear that for the next couple of hours.
35K closed last week, 10K scheduled to close, and expecting another 8 to 12 this month. This business is real.
Love it.
Is that the brokerage you're with? How's that going? Real brokerage?
It's working great. I mean, for me, I have no issues.
Yeah.
Right. I mean,
if people are interested in like hanging their license somewhere, is it a good option?
I think it's absolutely a great option. You got myself, you got Matthew Potter, you got Ryan Zolan. If you guys are interested in joining Real, we've got Ingrid Hernandez. She was here a moment ago.
Yep.
Right. If you guys are interested in Real, go to realstevetrang.com and then we'll have a conversation.
Real Steve Trang. Can you put that in the, we'll put it in here, or Matt will. Realstevetrang.com. Put it in there, guys. If you're going to join a real estate brokerage, I mean, you've got the best of the best here that can help you out. If you've already got your license, or this is happening a lot too, is people are joining Wholesaling Inc. and they've got a license already. And they're like, well, my broker doesn't allow me to wholesale. Right.
Yeah.
And they're like, but I want to wholesale. Like, this is what I want to do. I don't want to just go and apply for the job of selling people's homes for the rest of my life.
No,
right. I want to find the best.
that.
I want to find the best deals. Yeah. And so I think it's a great option.
Yeah,
so realstevetrang.com. All right. Christian, when offering to JV or being offered to JV a deal with a person with the deal under contract, is it recommended to get an option on the contract?
So this is where I always struggle.
Yep.
Because there's the right way.
Sure.
And that's what I always do.
Yeah.
Right. So the right way is, yes, absolutely get an option contract. And what you want to do in the option contract is have an option price to purchase it. Right. You've got it locked up for 80. I've got an option for 90. I'm going to sell it for 100. What we cannot do legally is you got it locked up for 80, Steve. Brent, I'm going to go sell it and we'll split the difference. Right. Because that's considered brokering.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to have an option in place legally. Right. If we're going to put it in writing, it's got to be legal. With all that being said, when I called Pace and Jamil, like, can you move this deal for me?
Yeah. Right.
It's just kind of like we're buddies and it just happens. Right. So I've never, ever signed a contract for someone else to move a deal for me.
Right.
But I think that's just a function of how long I've been in the business.
Sure.
And the people we associate ourselves with.
I think if you're starting out and you're building the relationship and somebody's fine with it, great. You know what I mean? Like, at least have the confidence that, you guys both know what to expect from the relationship.
Yeah, the value you're bringing.
But I would say, from a practical standpoint, it doesn't happen every time. What I see a lot of time, Christian, is we will assign a deal to Steve, to Jamil, to somebody else, and then they'll sell it after they already have it assigned. So they already have control over it.
These are fantastic questions.
Just depends. Yeah, they're good. So we got where is your license? Jared, my license is with EXP right now, but it's going to be with maybe Steve. We'll see. We'll see how good he answers these questions in here. Here we go.
I got to step on my game then.
All right. Mikkel, Brent, Wholesaling Inc. How do you provide your callers enough data to keep them busy full time? That's a great question. So we go through the list twice typically. And the beautiful thing here is we've got 2 million houses here in Maricopa County?
I think close to 3 million.
Yeah. So I think we've got 1.9 million properties skip traced, right? We bought that list that everybody bought back in the day.
Yeah, Jared Hoare, that list out to everybody.
Opened it up and we get it updated on a regular basis. But Mikkel, basically the equation that you want to make sure that you've got enough fresh lists is your callers can make about 50 can call about 50 addresses an hour. And that's if you're calling the first 2 numbers to 3 numbers that is attached to that property. And so that typically is about 50 addresses per hour. And then you just look at how many hours you have. Well, they're going to work 40 hours, which really means they're going to work 30 hours. So you just do the math there. And it's 1,500 addresses a week.
And really, like we spend so much time talking about data. And data is important, right? Mm-hmm. But when you're starting or when you got an army of cold callers, the data is not as important as much as we preach it is, right? Because you got batch, you got prop stream. There's that thing that Jerry's come up with, PropWire, right? You got PropWire. We use DataFlick, Audantic, 80/20. Like there's all these different lists, code violations, tax records, pre-foreclosures. Like there's so many lists, right? But at the end of the day, are you guys attacking the list all the way through and hitting it multiple times over?
Yep.
There was a period of time where we were hitting the Audantic list every single week.
Yeah, sure.
Right? Every single week. They were like, they knew our VAs by name.
Yeah, sure.
Right? But you got to comb through and attack it over and over and over again. So you don't necessarily need more data at times. It's just, are you consistently hitting your data that you pull? You've got 1.9 million records.
Yeah, and batch leads.
You can just keep going through it. You don't have to necessarily buy more data.
But the quality matters. I went from having 8 callers to 4 to 2.
Right.
And just those quality conversations. And one of them made me over 800,000 last year.
Well, I'm not disputing the list part. I think it's just not as important as everyone says, right? Like, yeah, you got the resources.
You want to ring this for John? Real John B.
We get all the way over here. That feels great.
There
Good job, John.
Great job, John. John closed a $49K wholesale deal, sold in 20 minutes last Thursday, waiting to clear at title by this Wednesday and close the same day.
Fantastic.
That is listen, you're one conversation away from having a $49,000 wired into your bank account. It's bananas.
You're one conversation away from changing your life.
For sure.
Right. I don't know what John B's situation is.
Right.
But for a lot of people, $49,000 is a lot of money. Fixes a lot of problems.
Oh my gosh. I remember I had like $40 cash. I couldn't even get I talked about it on here. I couldn't get a checking account because my credit score was like 400 or 430 or something. I couldn't get Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Chase Bank, that none of them. Arizona Federal Credit Union wouldn't even give me a checking account, right? Yeah. Like I was like having to go to the checks cashing place, right? And so I was like, I need to get an account because I was getting this $42,000, wire, and they're like, we need your wire information or your, and I was like, oh, I got to figure this out. I did. I found one online, but
when I remember like going back,
it breaks your brain though,
changing everything. Like I still remember in 2010 going to swipe at Lowe's and getting the decline. Like, why is this decline? Well, we don't think you can pay off your credit card debt. It's like, why don't you think I can pay off my credit card debt? It's like, because you're not paying a mortgage. It's like, yeah. What's that got to do with it?
Yeah. How far we've come.
Oh, man. So far.
Yeah. Raphael, how much money can a new wholesaler expect to spend for their first contract, but only direct to seller, one-man operation, no VAs? Raphael, you could go right now with $0. You can go driving for dollars. You could have a pad of paper and a pen. You can write down the addresses of ugly houses. Then you can go to True People Finder. You can go into True People Finder, put those addresses in, get the phone numbers from them and call them right now.
Yeah. Or
zero budget.
Or depending what market you're in, we talk about squad up, right? Yeah. Like this is the theme for the Wholesale Hotline.
That's right.
Squad up.
Yep.
Find someone in your community who's got a bunch of leads they consider to be dead.
Mm-hmm.
How many deals a year do you do from dead deals?
Oh, half of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just go to someone's database that they've marked as dead leads. There are deals. And I had 1 year where I almost like lost, the contents of my stomach, right? Because we audited our list. Like how many deals did we get from Audantic? They were able to pull that list. How many deals did we mark as dead?
Yeah.
That sold to someone else for wholesale.
Oh, I know.
Oh, it's like 23,
it's
26 deals. Like that we went in Salesforce and marked it dead, and it clearly was not dead.
Right. Well, somebody got to it.
Somebody got to it.
Got to it.
Yeah.
Yep. So, Raphael, you don't have to have a huge budget. You truly don't. I really think that you shouldn't, even if you do have a huge budget, I would highly suggest that you go out there and really just have as many conversations as you can and try to talk to 1,000 property owners as fast as you can. And I don't care if you have like 300K in your account, right? Like, just do that as an exercise to build up your skills, and you're going to be a magnet to really great talent once the time comes to start bringing people on as your acquisition managers, your disposition managers, as your callers, whatever else. And it's going to make you more powerful. I see a lot of people stepping in here. They'll throw 20, 30K that they've saved up into this business and try to leverage other people's skills too fast. And then it's gone. And then they're off to, you know, something else. So,
well, there's a guy, I know, Michael Fitzgerald. He's over in Virginia, I believe. And this guy just gets free government money from everywhere, right? Like, it's just insane. And all he does all day, every day, is he just tells everybody, doesn't matter if we're at Starbucks, if we're getting lunch or whatever, everyone that he interacts with, he tells them he buys houses.
Really?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. He just tells everybody buys houses.
Yeah.
The guy's making stupid amounts of money. He's over 1,000 doors. And he started.
Who is this?
Michael Fitzgerald.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
All he does, he just tells people he buys houses.
Yeah.
All day, every day.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what he does. I mean, it's not complicated. Ingrid, learning that, Steve, what are your conditions to mark a lead dead?
So for us to fully disqualify a lead, hey, Ingrid, I just want to be perfectly clear here. You mean to tell me if I came over to your house today, I was able to pay you exactly what you felt your house was worth, you wouldn't be interested in selling? Nope, wouldn't be interested in selling. That's a dead lead, right? You can't get any deader than that lead, right? For us to actually delete you from our database, there has to be three things. You have to have sold the property, right? Because obviously we can't do anything with that.
Right.
And you have to threaten us, whether legally or physically.
Yeah.
Like, where do you live? Where's your office? I will come find you. Okay, we'll delete that lead.
Yeah, sure.
Right? But F off is a lead that needs to be followed up with.
Yeah. And when they ghost and they all of a sudden you don't hear from them for a long time, they're coming back. They're going to come back.
Absolutely.
Go knock on the door. Go find another way in. If they're not answering their phone, then find another way to get in contact with them. You know, do a little handwritten note. Go knock on the door. Do something to go find those. But I'll tell you what, the only time we really get rid of them is if they sell. If they just if it's done, if it's an ugly house, if it's like a house that we're like, oh, this looks like a lead, but they just put new granite in and floors and all that. I was like, just list it with an agent. You know, we'll get rid of those. But if it's a property that needs significant investment into it, the likelihood that they're going to do it themselves is very, very low.
Yeah. And here's a sad reality. You know, I wish this was a different scenario, but anyone that goes through a situation where they're facing financial distress is going to, again, be in a situation where they're in financial distress.
Yeah, it is.
That's the sad reality.
Benjamin, come on. Closed my first deal last week. I couldn't have done it without this community.
That's phenomenal.
Benjamin, congratulations. I'll tell you what, the first deal, the proof of concept, going from faith that you could do this to fact. I don't care if it's $1 or 100,000. That is a big celebration.
It's a confidence
that is a
you need.
Huge celebration, Benjamin. Now it's just doing it again and again.
That's when you go from like uncertain, shaky legs to confident steps.
Yep.
Yeah.
So let's talk. While I'm combing through some of these questions here, and thank you guys so much for participating. This is just flying by. Thank you for being here. This is a lot of fun. Let's walk through. Are you done? Do you have to get out of here at the top of the hour?
Yeah,
is
top
that
of
the
the
deal?
hour. Yeah,
okay.
I got to go present somewhere else.
So, do you really?
Azrael, yeah.
Nice. You're speaking at the
not
biggest...
the whole room, but I just need to be present, support, because I'm having my title company present now.
Yeah.
Push my title.
You own a title company?
You didn't know I own a title company?
Which one?
Magnus East.
Yeah. Nice.
So now,
do you make any money from it?
It's good business.
Yeah.
It's good business.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. They came in and talked to me.
Right. Yeah. So
they're like, just go under Steve's.
Yeah. I got to go represent.
All right, so you're going to get more title and escrow deals in the pipe. That's good.
Hustle never stops, man.
That's right. Let's just walk real quick just through, when you're teaching people how to convert these opportunities, is there a specific process that you go through?
There's absolutely a specific process we go through. Yeah. I mean, I think one of the things, I love the way Jamil put this. He would describe me as a robot.
Yes.
Right. Only a friend would call another friend a robot.
Sure.
Right. And so his point was like, well, if this robot can sell, then anyone can replicate this model.
Right.
So I think the very first thing what you want to do is you want to be able to set very clear expectations, right? Hey, Brent, when we meet today, I just want to be, make sure we're on the same page here. At the end, when I make my offer, I'm looking for a yes or a no. And if I hear anything besides a yes or no, I'm going to take that as I need to think about it. Now, that's a very, very condensed version, right? But over the course of like 2-3 minutes, I'm going to set very clear expectations so that it's a yes or a no.
So how do you do that?
Yeah, so I'm going to walk up, right, and say, hey, Brent, thank you for inviting me into your home here. Before we even get into any of this, could I share with you how these conversations normally go?
Sure.
All right. So first of all, thank you for inviting me here. These appointments generally go by an hour, sometimes an hour and a half. That's still a good amount of time for you?
Yeah. Yeah,
all
we got time.
All right, perfect. And typically, homeowners that we've worked with in the past wanted to know how this process works, how much money they're going to walk away with, and when exactly they're going to get their money.
Yep.
Am I missing anything?
It's perfect.
All right.
Yep.
And obviously, for me to figure out if this is a house that we intend to purchase, I'm going to have to ask you some questions. Some of these questions might come across as personal.
Right.
Would that be okay?
Well, it just depends.
Sure.
Just depends on how personal these questions are.
Well, we want to make sure that if there's a situation where you're going through a lot, that we're actually able to help you. I don't have all the money in the world. I'm not Brent Daniels, right?
Yeah.
I'm just a regular guy. So I want to make sure.
He's coming next.
Right. So I want to make sure, if I'm actually buying your home, that I actually have the capital to help you out of a bad spot, because I can't help everybody.
Sure.
So,
okay.
Understood?
Yeah. Fair enough.
Great. And at the end, Brent, all I ask is, one or two things. If the price we offer you just doesn't work, would you feel comfortable telling me no?
Oh, yeah.
All right. I appreciate that. And the house doesn't work for us. Are you going to be okay if I tell you that?
Sure.
All right. Perfect. And if it does make sense for us to work together, what that means is we're going to take everything you and I talked about today, and we're going to put that in writing. Is that fair?
Yep. And
can I just share with you my biggest fear?
Yeah.
Well, you seem really kind. And some of the homeowners in the past that we've talked to were really afraid to hurt our feelings. So instead of telling us no, they told us that they needed to think about it. Can you promise me you won't do that? I promise you, you cannot hurt my feelings.
Yeah. I'll tell you yes or no.
All right, great. And if I hear anything at the end besides a yes or no, I'm just going to take that as a no. Is
right.
that fair?
Yep. Yeah, that sounds good.
That's our way of saying, hey, Brent, yes, no, you're not allowed to think about it.
Put some love in the comments section for Steve Trang. I love it.
Yeah.
Setting it out. Well, listen, Sandler, right?
Oh, yeah. A lot of Sandler.
Right?
A lot of Sandler.
I think I've got it here somewhere.
Yeah.
No, it's in the other. But incredible, right? Just going through the process and setting the upfront agreements to be able to have an honest conversation.
Well,
it's incredible.
And it's disarming.
Yes.
Right? Because what happens if you don't do this? I'm going to walk in. Hey, how you doing? How's your day?
Yeah.
Hey, did you watch that Suns game yesterday? That's awesome.
You like dogs?
Oh, yeah. Dogs. Oh, you're a golfer. Oh, you fish too. Oh, this is awesome, right? And then we walk around the house. And this whole time you're like, when's he going to try to close me? When's he going to try to close me, right?
What's he going to try to find out?
Yeah. And this is like this guard that's incredibly high. And I'm trying to get your guard down all the way from the get-go. We're going to have an honest conversation because, by the way, you're allowed to tell me no. I'm allowed to tell you no. How many times you talk to a salesperson, like, hey, it doesn't work. You just tell me no.
Yeah. No.
Never. Right? So we're disarming you from the get-go so that we can have an honest conversation.
Well, and also pulling away. Right?
Absolutely.
Pulling away and not just chasing it and being like, oh, sell it to me, sell it to me, sell it to me, sell it to me, right?
Well, just think about this dynamic, right? So I was not a player. I was the good kid. I'm going to guess Brent might have been a little bit of a player.
Yeah.
Right? Just a little bit. So what
With
happened?
the ladies?
With the ladies.
Oh, spurts.
All right. Well, this is not a live show. It's fine. All right. Yeah. So what happens, right, when the boy's chasing?
Oh, yeah. They run away.
Completely unexpected.
Yeah, no.
Like, it could be
the women choose the men. Dude.
Yeah, right. It could be the best looking dude just left a GQ model shoot.
Yeah,
right. And if he's thirsty, forget about it.
No,
right. But then you got the other guy who has no business getting the girl.
Right.
Yep. Doesn't even have money.
Yep.
But he just acts totally cool. Doesn't need the girl. And what happens?
Yeah,
she wants him.
Yeah, sure.
I had so many friends in college, right, that were worthless.
Yeah.
Living with their girlfriends, and their girlfriends are paying for their weed.
Sure.
What was going on here?
What was going on with your circle of friends?
Well, I went
animals.
I went to Arizona State.
Oh, okay. Sorry, he's a Sun Devil. Okay, that's it. Yeah, that's mild then.
Yeah,
you were hanging out with the
that was the
church
okay
kids.
Yeah.
All right, Peter asks, I'm struggling balancing wholesaling, school, and life. I'm in high school.
Oh, good for you, Peter.
Taking many AP classes and struggling doing both. Do you have any advice balancing this?
Well, I applaud you, Peter.
Yep.
Because you are much further along than I was. I didn't even get into real estate until I was 27, right? So I applaud you. This is incredible. So this is going to be kind of difficult in high school, but you've got to be really clear on what you want. I don't know how to tell someone in high school how to be clear on what you want because most of us don't even know in college.
Look at Jamil.
He knows.
Steve Trang is
He
hot.
knows.
Yeah.
Right. So you got to be clear on what you want. And at this point in your life, you're probably getting a lot of input from your parents or your friends, right? So one of the things you got to be sure to balance between is honoring your parents, but at the same time understanding what your parents may want for you and think is best for you may not be in alignment with reality.
Yeah.
When I quit real estate, my parents were really distraught, right? Like you went to ASU, you went to graduate school. I have a master's degree in electrical engineering.
Right.
I had a great job at Intel. Like, why are you throwing this away? It's like, well, because I'm entirely unfulfilled and this is not what I want to do in my life.
Yeah.
But I went through all these things. You don't have to, right? I think it was Peter. You don't have to do all that, Peter. If you know what you want and you're certain of it, then again, you just got to strike that balance between honoring your parents and then pursuing what you're passionate about. But, you know.
Yeah. And I think that, listen, have your parents meet the people doing this. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Have them come along, have them be a part of your life. Even if they're, just kind of flies on the wall, just kind of looking at what's going on, they're going to feel a lot more comfortable with what you're doing and the decisions that you're making if it's around really good, high quality people. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
Oh, I think that's
and they're gonna support it, hopefully. And listen, there is no balance. Let me just explain this to you, Peter. There is no balance. Your brain is different. Your brain is designed to go out and serve the community. It's called being an entrepreneur. So get that, put that right in, because that took me a long time to be okay with that, because it was like this whole, you got to find balance. There is none. You're going to be obsessed with it all the time. You're going to be thinking about it all the time. You're going to have different responsibilities. All these things are going to be on your mind all the time, but you can find harmony.
Yeah,
it's not balance, it's harmony. Find the harmony and bring people into your world that are going to cheerlead you. They're going to support you, and they understand that you've got this pilot light inside you that is going, and they should encourage that, and they should be there to support you and to help elevate you. And those are the people that you want to surround yourself with, and that's usually who you end up hanging out with as you get older in life.
I would say, I've been asked, what are some of the characteristics you found to be, consistent with people that are real estate disruptors?
Yeah.
And one of them is obsessed.
Yeah.
They are obsessed with this business. This business doesn't stop at 5 p.m.
No.
Right? It doesn't stop. Like, their brain's racing all the way through the night, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're getting in trouble with their significant others. Like, hey, we're right here. We're supposed to be having dinner, right?
Right.
So first, I think it was obsession. Second one is grit. And the third one is that they're coached, right?
Would you call grit hunger? Is that the same thing, or is it different?
Not quite. Hunger is important, but grit is like you won't stay down, right? Grit is like, how many times do you get the door slammed in your face?
Yeah. 15,000.
15,000, right? Like, you get your door slammed in your face. How do you keep going? For most people, their ego can't survive that.
Yeah,
so
sure.
You got to have this incredible grit, because have you experienced any challenges in your real estate business?
Yes.
Maybe once?
All of them. Every single one of them.
It's always a new season with new challenges. If you don't have grit, you will collapse.
And I'm the talk to people guy. I couldn't order my own food at a restaurant until I was like 13. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like I was like the kid that was setting up, door to door selling, candy bars or setting up lemonade stands or anything like that. I was so afraid. I had to lose everything to like start at like rock bottom, and it's a nice strong foundation. But the thing that I learned is you can break out. You can through reps, you can through experience, you can go out there, be wildly proactive, and develop the skills of effective communication.
Yeah. And one of my first jobs, one of the first things I got paid for, right, was a 5-year-old at my parents' restaurant. And I was the host, right? It's like, how many are in your party? And I count the number of menus, and I walk them over to the table. I get paid like $5 a day. I was like, completely getting ripped off.
Yeah, sure.
Right. But yeah, I've been fortunate where I've been forced into having conversations with people.
Yeah. But I mean, what you find out is people are genuinely and generally really kind. You know,
so kind.
And once you figure out that you can use your tone of voice as your body language over the phone, people are a lot nicer to you. Even I mean, they even get nicer to you because they're like, "Oh, okay."
Well, I love what Jamil
this sounds
says
like
about
somebody
this.
that's a neighbor.
Jamil says this a lot, right? Like anytime, like, oh, this awful thing happened, he always asks, "Well, did you do anything negative to start that?"
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, like, we talk about this as sales resistance. Anytime someone chews you out on the phone, well, I always ask, what did you say the sentence or two before that led to them chewing you out on the phone? Because there's really nothing we're saying that should be like offensive.
No.
Right. And so we gotta figure out what we're doing to trigger sales resistance.
Yes.
And do our best to avoid sales resistance.
Matt asks, as a wholesaler, this is a great question. How do you protect yourself in a deal?
I mean, as a wholesaler, are you talking about like getting skated around? We have memorandums, right? So every property we contract, we have a memorandum. Arizona, I believe, is unique in that legally we're not allowed to record a memorandum unless it's agreed upon in the contract.
We have it in ours.
Yeah, so we have it in our contract that says, hey, Brent, when I buy your house, part of us buying your house is we're going to record a memorandum against your home, right? So in Arizona, that is just in our contract. I believe in the 49 other states, you can record memorandums willy-nilly, right? And so to protect yourself, memorandums, we use them way more than I would like to.
Sure.
But the reality is you have to.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it's a bummer. We're dealing with this right now. Literally today, we put out a property and somebody took it to the owner, and the owner's like super pissed. And and this person was chipping away at the owner on Friday, and we were able to pull him back in and be like, listen, you've already seen everybody's offers. You took our offer for a reason. Let's, but yeah, people going, I mean, it's a strategy. People will see a property that's being marketed and go and try to convince the seller to breach the contract.
There's a talk track we do use here, though.
Yeah. What do you say?
Hey, Brent, now that
us too.
Now that I'm buying your home.
Yep.
Right. Are you opposed to anything I do as far as marketing your home?
Right.
Like, and they're like, no, as long as you buy my house. Yeah. So, I just want to be clear here. If sometime between now and we close, someone comes along and offers you more money, what are you going to tell them? And they're going to say, well, I mean, it's a higher offer. Well, Brent, let me just, stop right here. We have a problem. I'm going to go back to my office, Brent. I'm going to ask my team to set aside funds to make sure it's available for you when we close.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask my entire team to go through all this paperwork to make sure that on the day of close, we can close on time so that you can A, B, and C.
Yep.
If you're telling me you're not fully committed, Brent, to working with us, how can I ask my team?
It's beautiful
to go do all these things?
I love that.
Yeah. So, and that's another way on top of the legal.
Yeah, stuff. we really go through in the contract. Like we can put it on the MLS if we want. We can do all we can market it, and we just tell them, listen, it's one of our exit strategies. As an investor, you understand we're buying this to make a profit. And they go, yeah, they do, and usually there's not a problem.
And I was so scared to do that initially.
Yeah,
like when I first started,
I know,
right? And then you realize everyone's okay with you making a profit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They expect it.
Yeah.
Right.
You're not doing this for free.
Right. And if they do have a problem with it, they sign with somebody else. And then they, lock it up too high and they're not able to do anything, but, or they buy it and they get more for it. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about wholesaling real estate and real estate in general, just commerce in general. A ready, willing, and able buyer determines the value.
Absolutely.
If your value is higher than my value, then they should go with your value. Right.
Right. Yeah.
That one, but there was an interesting thing. You had an attorney on your incredible YouTube channel. And if you guys aren't subscribed to Steve Trang's YouTube channel, make sure that you do. And he was talking about people that just don't have the ability to purchase.
Yes.
This is a big issue. This
is an issue that's kind of hush. There's two major legal issues, maybe more, but two major legal issues. Right?
Yeah.
One is locking up a contract that you can't perform on.
Right.
Right. So on that one, you got to be very transparent. Like, hey, my intent here is to have someone else purchase a home. And that's all it is. It's just a disclosure, right? And it's just, again, it's conversations, right? It's talk tracks. Hey, Brent, at the price you're looking to get for your home, I just got to be completely upfront with you. I am not a cash buyer at the price you need.
Right.
Just so happens, though, Brent, I am connected with a lot of the real estate community inside of the Phoenix market. If I can find one of them to pay you the price you're looking to get, would you be opposed if I brought them along over here?
Right.
Right? Like,
No.
no. You can get that. Okay, great. Now I'm going to lock it up at the price you want. I'm going to try to wholesale it.
Yeah.
Right. But it's a very transparent.
But going in and saying, I am the buyer.
Yeah.
And you don't have the ability to close.
Right. Well, I mean, are you the buyer at like $20?
Right.
Okay. At the price they want, you're just not the buyer.
Right.
Right.
So what do you recommend? You recommend that you either tell them, hey, listen, I'm not going to buy this, but I'm going to reach out. I've got a good relationship with the other investors in the market, or go out and just get money.
What's your cash buy price today?
Yeah.
I mean, what is your cash buy price? As far as percentage, what is your cash buy price today?
It depends. So we look at what is the current inventory in that area.
Yeah.
Right. So if it's less than 2 months, we're at 80% minus repairs.
Yeah.
If it's more than 2 months, we're 70% minus repairs.
So we're at 55%.
Yeah.
Right.
Across the board.
I will close.
Oh,
at
yeah.
55%.
I go 50, 35, and 10.
Yeah.
50 if it's above 250,000, 50,000. So guys, if you're looking at Zillow and you're like, I don't know what to offer here. If it's above 250,000, offer 50%. All right. Now listen, does that work all the time in every situation and everywhere? No, but it's going to get you pretty close. It's going to be a nice starting point for you to start really understanding what their expectations for price are. If it's between 250 and 100, I go 35%. And if it's under 100,000, I go 10%.
Yeah. So most properties don't qualify for a cash offer.
No.
Right. So then we go back to this other number. So whatever your cash number is your cash number. And if you can't pay 20%, get a hard money lender.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it.
But you are a cash buyer at 20%.
Yep. Yeah. And listen, I feel like the whole industry is set up for us, Steve. The whole industry, you can go and talk to a hard money lender right now.
Yeah. That
based on that asset, they're going to let you know how much money they will give you.
Yeah.
There's some that'll give you 100%. About 9 months ago, that were going to give you 100% plus repairs.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
I mean, so you can have those people don't understand that, like, doctors, attorneys, business people, wealthy families, they put their funds in to these hard money lenders, and they earn 8 to 10% on their money. And then the hard money lenders lend it out at 12 to 13%, plus they make fees.
Yeah, they collect the difference.
So there's huge pools of money all over the place that are like literally just sitting there with being ready for us to use.
Absolutely.
Or our buyers to use.
There's no reason why
there should be no reason why you don't go confidently. And I know that, like, that's what screwed me up. When I was first starting out, I was selling deals to Derek Jar. And I thought, well, I need to have the money to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And then I went and had a conversation with Chris Iman, and he's like, yeah, I'll give you 100%. And I was like, instantly, I'm a cash buyer. Instantly, I have like $20 million that I can, tap into.
Yeah.
And that gave me all the confidence to go out there and lock up the deals myself, as opposed to just being an agent, locking it up for other buyers or investors and just earning a commission.
3%.
Right. Right. Yeah. It's yeah. I won't do it. Anyway, let's see what we got here. Do we need to get eyes on every property, or is it ever okay to lock one up without seeing it? I have a seller saying she has an offer sight unseen, which is hard to believe because it's rat infested.
That was a Freudian slip there. Do we have to get eyes on properties? I mean, I don't believe there's one of those where there's a right answer, right? Like, if it's rat infested and it's like a home that's in like a decent part of town, if you come in low enough, you don't actually need to look at it.
Right.
Right. 40%, do you need to look at it?
No.
Not really, right? It just ultimately depends on what you guys are negotiating. Like, if you're looking to get like 70%, I 100% I'm setting my eyes on it.
It depends on the price.
Depends on the price, depends on the time frame, depends on what they're looking to get, right? And she has an offer sight unseen. If someone tells me that information, right, I might insert some doubt here. So, Brent, okay, so when you bought this property, you didn't look at it either?
No, I saw it.
Oh, you did see it?
Yeah.
Okay, see, that's how we buy our houses too. But you're okay with this random person you never met buying your house without
seeing it. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. It's just inserting as much doubt as possible to win favor. And this is something that we talk about in our sales training, is that It's not that I need to convince Brent to take $50,000, $100,000 less.
Yeah.
Right. I need Brent to convince himself to take $50,000 to $100,000 less.
Right.
That comes through conversation, comes through rapport, comes through tone, comes through pace of speech.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot involved in it, and you got to work on your craft.
So if you're sitting down and you're having this conversation with a property owner or with an agent that's representing a property owner, and you've gone through the whole thing, and they're still like, well, I need to pray about it. I need to take some time to review all these with my attorney or with whatever else. Yeah. Then what do you do? Or have you already?
Let's just role play this.
Okay.
So it's like, Brent, you need to run this by your attorney.
Yeah, I think we should have the attorney look at this. I inherited this property, so I just want to make sure that all the paperwork looks good.
Oh, I guess I don't understand. When we first sat down, we were saying that, if it made sense, we put everything in writing.
Yeah.
It sounds like I might have done something to lose your trust.
Oh, no. It's not that. I just want to make sure that we understand what's going on.
Okay. Got it. So then is the process then you're uncomfortable with?
Yeah, I'm just not really familiar with it.
Okay. So,
yeah.
And then
they're saying speak up, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Hey, look, when it comes down to closing, I am going to lower my tone.
Right.
I am going to have this conversation where, like,
because it makes it more serious.
And you're going to lean in, right? If I start talking quieter, you're going to lean in, like, what? This is really important.
Right.
So I apologize. I do always lower my voice when I'm closing Steve.
It's good.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm going to address. Like, I don't understand. We agreed in the very beginning. Like, we must not be on the right page, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to say, is the process? And they're like, no, it's not the process. Okay, well then, Brent, I get it. It's the price. You're uncomfortable with the price. He said, no, it's not the price. Oh, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
You're uncomfortable with me.
See, the price terms are you, right?
And then what is going to happen? Like, no, it's not you. It's whatever nonsense. Whatever thing, like maybe it was another wholesaler they promised a second chance on. Maybe their brother-in-law is a realtor.
Yeah.
Right. Like all these other black swan scenarios will come up when we get all super pathetic. So I got to get rolling here.
You're out of
6:02. Yeah.
Guys, give it up for Steve.
Yeah.
Wow, that was awesome. Thank you.
I hope they got a ton of value here. It's a little bit different. Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Steve. Go get some title.
Yeah,
get some title and escrow.
Gotta hustle.
That's it.
Not so much for balance tonight.
That's awesome. Yeah, no balance tonight. That is awesome. Yeah, Jerry was supposed to be on here. I'm not just Jerry in a mask. I don't know what happened. Maybe his cell phone went down today, but that's all right. What other questions do you guys have? I think, listen, it's real important. A lot of the stuff that Steve talked about is if you want to know the fundamentals, I would highly suggest that you get the book. You can't teach a kid to ride a bike at a seminar. You can't teach a kid to ride a bike at a seminar. It's Sandler training, and it's very, 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 very strong. And really like gives you the roadmap to be able to have those good conversations and to be really confident in it. So I'll stick around as long as you guys want to ask some questions. That is Steve must be training, eating healthy, looks so young and healthy. Thank you for all the education, both of you guys. Absolutely. Listen, education, he gave you instruction, right? That role play, anytime that you're hearing a role play and you see what he's doing, with his tone of voice, with what he's saying, with the questions that he's asking, that's instruction. Use it. Write it down. Anytime that I would run across, something that kind of threw me off that a property owner would say, I would just write it down, right? I would write it down and I would make sure that I came up with 2 responses. And if I didn't have one of those, have a response that I felt comfortable with, I would just kind of search around to try to find it, whether from mentors or YouTube videos or podcasts. And it'll really help you out to feel confident, because that's really all it is. As long as you have certainty and likability when you're in front of the property owners, you're going to get deals done. You're going to lock them up. It's going to be really powerful, and you're going to be it's going to feel like the wind's behind your sails is behind your back. You know what I mean? When you feel that confident. But Yeah, Steve's looking great. That's awesome. Let's see. Raphael, I'm in Newark, New Jersey market, and there are about 400 active pre-foreclosures. When putting it all in your filters, I'm left with about 100 leads. Is that enough to target? Well, what filters are you putting them through, Raphael? I mean, there's obviously some sort of distress there. So I would just tap in. I would call all of them. Because you never know. You never know if the conversation that you have about that property leads you to another property. So don't restrict too much the properties that you're going after in the beginning, because I really want you to get a good idea of what lists in your area are the best ones for you to talk to and for you to communicate with, because there's so many different opportunities that you can have. Remember, you can lock up a deal by just, giving them a cash offer. And that's preferred because it's just real smooth, and it makes it easier so that you don't have to build a long-term relationship with the property owner. But that doesn't mean that if they want a higher price that you can't work out terms. That can't mean that doesn't mean that if they don't have equity in the deal that you can't put something together, package it all together, and sell that deal to somebody else. As you start developing and evolving your business and your skills, you realize that you really have a few different tools in your toolbox, right? You've got a cash as is offer, which is fantastic. You've got a creative offer, right? You can do some seller financing that is really, really, you lock up a seller finance deal, you put together a really strong seller finance deal. Those are the hottest deals to wholesale right now. It's absolutely incredible, especially if you can get the payments to something that's really, really reasonable and that'll cash flow, because everybody's looking for it, right? So you can do the seller financing, you could do a cash offer. Obviously, Pace will educate you on how to do a sub 2 and take over a loan. You also have the ability to build a relationship with a listing agent, with a real estate agent out there, right? You can refer business to a real estate agent. Now, if you're not licensed, you can't take a commission. But what you can do is have them pay for your marketing. Why don't they pay for your batch leads or prop stream for the year? Why don't they pay for your dialer? How many of you that don't have a huge budget right now have gone to a real estate agent and said, listen, all day, every day, I want to go out and I want to talk to property owners, and I'm going to offer them a cash offer to try to wholesale the deals or to try to find a good flip or rental property for my portfolio. But all the ones that want to sell on the market, all the ones that are going to want a higher price or that are in good condition, why don't I just send over to you, and in doing that, you pay for my whatever you want to do. Maybe it's text blasting, maybe it's your pay-per-click, maybe it's your dialer and pulling your lists, or your Driving for Dollars app, or whatever it is, right? All those little line items in your budget. Why don't you have a real estate agent pay for all those, and you send them referrals to people that want to sell their property? It's really powerful. Just start thinking a little bit differently. But if you're proactive, if you're wildly proactive and you're having conversations and you're making offers, which this business, that's what it comes down to, conversations and offers. The more that you do that, the more opportunities you're going to find for everybody in this industry, and people are going to love you. They're going to want to be around with you for sure. Christine, this is great. Thanks for staying on, Brent. What's the best way to find end buyers quickly for your cash deals? I always like just going right on to Redfin or Zillow and looking for properties that are actively being flipped. They're on the market, they're flipped. The best ones are going to be the properties that have already accepted an offer or they're considered pending, because that's showing you that this property should be they should be getting the investors should be getting their funds back from that flip pretty soon. That means they probably want to put that money into a different project, especially if it's their full-time business. So I like just calling up the agents that have those properties listed. You take Jamil's advice where you talk to them and you tell them what a great job they did with whatever, their cabinets, their floors, their appliances, the unique style that they put into the property. You give them compliments on that, and then you see if they want to buy anything else. I found Jamil through Josiah through typing in real estate investor Phoenix into LinkedIn. And we've probably done, 200 deals with them. through Keegley because of that action right there that I took early on in my wholesaling business. You can talk to hard money lenders. Literally just Google like private money lenders or hard money lenders in your area and reach out and have a conversation with them. They have unbelievable cash buyer databases. That's a powerful way right there. And if you really want this all line item, Christine, you can go to wholesalinginc.com. wholesalinginc.com, and we have something called a cash buyer pack, and it shows you how to find the top 100 buyers in your area, but some of that is in there. So it's a mixture of all those different efforts there, which is really cool. And yeah, I agree, Ingrid. Like people really sleep on LinkedIn. I think it's really powerful. Privy's a great resource for you as well. That shows you all of the flips that are going on in the marketplace. I mean, PropStream, Batch Leads. They show you the cash buyers with a button that you can click. So, yeah, there you go, Anthony asked right here, how much should I anticipate to spend on SMS marketing? Great question. So the SMS companies don't like it called text blasting. They like it called the SMS marketing or the text message marketing instead of text blasting. And it just depends. We use Launch Control. I think we spend about $1,500 bucks a month on it, Anthony, because we send out a good amount of texts throughout the week. But you can get tools that are much cheaper. Just, I think that the volume is a lot lower that you can use. And then you're going to also have to get enough phone numbers to be able to text, right? So that's really going to be the budget is really going to be in getting the accurate phone numbers for you. So there you go. Privy's great. Reading 5 Guy says, how do I work for Keegley franchise in San Antonio, Brent? Apply. I mean, I guess you just go and apply and see if they have any positions that they're hiring for. I think it's a great place, unbelievable place to really learn the game and really learn and understand what's going on and feel a lot more confident in the whole process. So I think it's awesome. Yeah. That'd be awesome. Yeah, hold on. What should you do if agents ask for flip credibility? Okay, great question, Isaac. So when you're making offers to on-market properties or even to agents that maybe they have an off-market quote unquote pocket listing, although I feel like pocket listings are kind of going away because the realtor organization is really pushing hard for people to put properties on the market because it just adds to their world. But yeah, you're going to have a proof of funds. You're going to have proof of funds, and typically you're going to have to offer 1% for earnest money. I mean, this is what every agent is trained on, is that you have to get 1% for earnest money and then get and get a proof of funds. And you can get a proof of funds all over the place. I mean, you could get a proof of fund. You could just type in proof of funds right now. I know Jamil has proof of funds that you can use. I know that you can go and just find it online, to be honest. So my seller got emotional and taken back when I told her I would need to bring people in during inspection. She didn't want anyone seeing it. How would you handle the next call with her? Well, you have to understand why. Tell me more about that. What's going on? It's important for me to get everybody through. If not, if you don't want everybody to come through, I'm going to have to get it at a different price. And I'm telling you, in our experience, 80% of our cash buyers buy it sight unseen because of the pictures that we take and because of the videos that we take and because of our reputation. They know that we're going to let them know if there's anything major that we came across or saw, and make sure that, we give them enough pictures and video to make a decision. But you need to dig in deeper, Nathan. Why is that such a big deal for them? If it's rat infested, then I don't know, get somebody that deals with rats to go in. You know what I mean? Like just call in the rat guy or gal in your area and see if they can get in there for you or with you. So, but if that's truly the case, okay, we're going back to the rat one. Well, then get it at the right price that somebody will buy it. Yeah. YouTube. I don't know. Rat-a-tat-tat. That's hilarious. Try using Matterport for sellers that don't want. That's cool. Yeah. I don't know. Anything else, guys? Anything here? You guys have anything? You want to just talk about any deals that you're working on? Anybody? You got anything? Nothing right now. Okay, come here. Come on. Come on in. Yeah, come on in. We're talking to a lot of agents. All right. Come on, sit down. Tell everybody who you are.
Well, I'm Pascal.
Okay, Pascal. And you are talking to a lot of agents. Talk in here so they can hear you.
Okay, yeah. So I'm talking to a lot of agents per day, at least. 50.
You got to get close to this so they're not going to be able to hear you.
So
There you go.
I talk to at least 50 agents per day.
Okay. 50.
Yeah.
And
yeah, submit offers. I make sure that I follow up with them all the time.
okay.
Yeah, and yeah, sometimes I get rejected, but sometimes they accept what I'm telling them.
So what market? Here
Yeah,
in
here
Phoenix?
in Phoenix.
So you're calling agents. How do you filter the agents that you're calling?
How do I talk to them?
Or do you just call every agent that you can find?
No, I go to like a seller's agent.
Uh-huh.
So I just tell them
Listed properties.
Yeah, exactly. So
Okay.
tell them, hey, can you guys represent me, like represent the seller and represent me at the same time?
Right.
And then they're like, yeah, we can actually do that. And then yeah.
So you're having these conversations with them on ugly houses, good looking houses, what?
Yeah. So most of the houses are like, they're not really renovated. They need some type of work. So
Sure.
I tell them, hey, please, if you have like an investment property that you can send to me, just send it over to me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you go and so are you filtering it based on the pictures that you see by
Yes.
by the amount of time they're on the market? What is it?
So yeah, that's also a big fact. So let's say if it's been on the market for like more than 60 days
Yeah.
and you need a lot of work, 100% I'm like, hey, please send it over to me so I can take a look at it.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. And how many are responding to you? Is it 1 out of 50? Is it 1 out of 20? Like how many are like sending you stuff and excited?
A lot of them.
A lot of them.
Yes, 50 per day. So I would say like at least 15 agents
Okay.
send me properties. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
And do you educate them? Do you say, hey, listen, like I don't need all these properties that are on the market. I see that. I want the ones that are off the market.
So what I tell them first, I say, hey, if you have, let's say, a pocket listing that's coming up on market, let me know first.
Yeah.
But if no, if something I've been sitting on the market for too long, more than 60 days, send it over to me, and then potentially you can represent me as well.
Yeah.
So that you can make some profit.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Let me answer this question real quick by Elizabeth. Elizabeth, I think it is critical to be loud about what you're doing. And I would just say document your journey. Document what you're doing. I would just turn your phone around and be like, I'm calling these agents. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm calling these agents right now. One I just had a great conversation with. I'm looking to buy houses. If you have any houses that need some renovation, please DM me. Right. And I'll just get loud and loud and loud, Elizabeth. And it doesn't have to be like you walking through a deal that you did or you showing checks off or anything like that, but just documenting what you're doing, and people get really excited about it. And then all of a sudden, you know, you get an extra deal a year, but a deal's worth 30 grand. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think that the louder that you are, no, I don't even think. I know the louder you are, the more opportunities you're going to find, Elizabeth. And you don't have to like channel somebody else's personality. Just be you out there and document what you're going through. Document the good times, the bad times, the conversations that are great, the conversations that you totally screwed up, and then just tell everybody, hey, I want to buy ugly houses.
Yep.
You know, I just want properties that need some love. So there you go. Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Ugly houses, big checks. Thanks for being on here.
Of course.
Awesome. 50. You talk to 50 or you call 50? You call 50. You hand dial? Yeah. Hand dial. Okay. Awesome. Ugly houses, big checks. That's right, Daniel. I love that. That is awesome. Yeah, I think you get as loud as you possibly can. I really do. I think that you go and don't be shy about this. You don't have to be secretive about what you're doing here. Go and find some really great opportunities. And yeah, let's see here. Tips on certain systems to put into place to scale your wholesaling business, like Jerry has been focusing on in his business. Yeah, I mean, listen, scaling means people and processes. And so the interesting thing is there's certain levels to be able to scale, and I go through it on my channel a ton. So definitely, if you're interested in that, jump on there. But there's certain points that you start hiring people, and one, you want to get the operations off your plate as quick as possible, and you can get a virtual assistant for that. They've got incredible talent. You can find those on Fiverr or Upwork or Start Virtual, the company that Pace owns. But then you start, with a junior acquisition manager. And what that junior acquisition manager does is, once your cup is overflowing because you have so many leads going on, you can't possibly keep up with it, then you have to hire somebody that's going to warm up those leads and shorten the timeline. Because that's all lead follow-up truly is shorten the timeline for them to make a decision. And the time kill, like, for real, time kills all deals. If you don't develop the skills of shortening timelines, you're going to lose out on a lot of deals. All right. So get really good at that, and then bring somebody else onto your team that's going to be really good at that. And you go on the appointments and get the deals locked up. There should be somebody in the office on the phones all day, and there should be somebody in the streets all day. Chad, my junior acquisition manager, does this live 2 hours a day in our mentorship program, and he's just calling the leads live. I mean, he does it all day, but he does it on a live stream 2 hours a day. And then Ryan, my acquisition manager closer, goes out and he gets those deals locked up. Awesome. Cool. Here we go. Courtney, advice on wholesaling. Looking through the Redfin fixer-upper filter, many are still 100K off percentage. Jamil recommends for my area. 100K off percentage Jamil recommends for my area. How would you approach and negotiate that? Have a conversation, Courtney. Call them. You're going to learn real fast. But, don't let everything isn't going to just line up perfectly. You're going to have to call and have conversations and really understand, why do they have this property on the market? If it's not even close to the price that it'll actually sell for, why is it on the market? What's going on with this? Do they actually have to sell that property? And you ask those ever important questions. If they don't sell it for this price, what's their plan with the property? Oh, well, they'll just keep it. Oh, they'll just fix it up. Oh, they'll just re-rent it. Those are not motivated property owners. All right. Oh, I completely understand that. What other property do you have right now that I can make an offer on that needs some renovation? We just did that. We just did a whole documentary on our YouTube channel that shows start to finish me talking to an agent for the first time, us all the way going through, flipping the property and getting paid. It's really cool. Check that out. How do you check if a property has code violations and can still buy or wholesale if it does? Do they need to be paid before you can buy or sign? What is the danger? Yeah, code violations usually get paid off when the property is sold. So if there's any liens or anything, it's just that has to get paid off with the price, with the amount of money that you as the buyer or your cash buyer comes in with. So that gets all paid off and all cleared. So it's just like a mortgage. It's just like property taxes. It's just like anything. If you owe money on something, you have to, or if there's a lien on it, you have to get that paid off with the price. Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Thank you for joining me. We're going to close out a little early here. We're about 6 minutes. I'm just up here. Join me. I go live on my YouTube channel on Wednesday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, or 1 o'clock Eastern Time. And we answer a whole bunch of questions every single week. We do a little bit of instruction in the beginning, something that you can implement into your business right away so that you can go out and find some bigger and better deals. And then we answer questions for the remainder of the hour. So join us. And that's it. Pace and Jamil will be back next week. I love you guys so much. Congratulations on all the success. And I hope to see you Wednesday. See you guys.
Or just say squat up.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
1, 2, 3.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
What are you doing?
I didn't say nothing.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
So squat up and enjoy the show.
Cool. I think we should use the one where Jamil doesn't say anything.